Hi, my name is Kristen Asinger and I teach at the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, and I'm here to give you some tips on how to be successful in anatomy and physiology. Before you start, make sure you get your textbook, you also get your lab book. You'll need both of those, and I'll kind of go through it as we go on it. Before class starts and before each chapter, make sure you go through the chapter review. That will give you an idea of what you're going to be covering. Then when you hear it a second time, you learn it more and you'll review again after that. On your textbook, you'll find a website from the publisher, and it's really great to use that because in there are different types of games that you can do and review and tests and all kinds of fun things. So if you're a hands-on learner, I highly recommend the website. First day of class, and this is super important, sit in the front or sit in the middle. If you sit in the back, and I will tell you from my experience, most of those students in the back are C's, D's, and F's. So if you want to do well, make sure you're in the front or the middle, and that goes for every single class. It's really important. There's statistics out there as well about this. Then set a goal for yourself. What kind of grade do you want in that class? Do you want an A? Do you want a B? Do you want to just get by with a C? Keep track of all of your tests, your quizzes. Make sure that you hold on to your tests and quizzes in case there's any kind of question about them at the end, about your grade. And then you can see if you're getting behind, you know that you need to kick yourself in the butt. Never ever wait till the end of the semester with any professor and then beg for them to bring your grade up, because you cannot do it that way. It won't work. If you haven't been working, they know that. So work hard throughout the semester. Print out all your PowerPoints. Take notes. Don't just keep those PowerPoints in front of you and don't write on them. Write notes so you can remember things. And then review those notes daily. Anatomy and physiology is a lot of medical terms that most likely those are words that you haven't heard before. And I tell people it's like learning a new language. And when you do that, you have to repeat it, understand it. So make sure you're constantly reviewing. If you have questions, ask, whether it's in class, after class, or going to the professor's office. Here are some things I did when I was in college, and it helped. Number one was get a study group. Find other people like you that want to work together. And one of the things I did is we found an empty classroom, and we would write things on the board and discuss things, and that really helped, because when you teach someone else something, you learn it so much better than just by looking at reviewing. Create study guides for yourself. Some people use flashcards, and they do pretty well with that by helping to memorize. But anatomy is not just about memorization. You have got to not just memorize it, but you have to understand it. And that is the most important part, is understanding how this different things affect the body and the different systems. Another key thing I did is I would make up a fake test for myself, and then take the test, and I'd make the fake test off of my notes, then I would study, then I would take the fake test, and now you've learned so much more after you go through and see what you got right or wrong, and then when you get that on the test, you'll get it right that next time. Huge key, go to every class. Do not skip anatomy and physiology. You will miss so much important information. They go fast. There's a lot that's packed into it. The students who miss my classes, or they leave right after the quiz, the weekly quiz, they're the ones getting the C's, D's, and F's and begging for me to bump them up at the end. It's not even the way to go. If you're going to miss an exam or a quiz, let your professor know right away. As soon as you find out, send an email. Don't wait until you come to class that day and say, well, I missed it, what do I do? When you go to lab is 3 hours a week. There are students who will leave after 1 hour, and they are not doing well in lab. Make sure you are learning everything, you stay, you review, you work with any kind of lab partners. So go to every single lab and stay there. Ask questions if you're not sure. Do all your lab assignments, turn them in. And also, the other thing is, here at Pitt Bradford, the labs can be opened up to you. So if you want to, if it's locked and there's no classes in there, you can just ask someone in the building to unlock that door for you. You can go in and you can study. That is allowed. The only time it's not allowed is when there's a class in there or when there's lab practicals that are set up. You won't be able to get in. And those are my tips for you. And I wish you all the best. Just work hard, because it's well worth it. Anatomy and physiology will give you that foundation and understanding of the human body, so when you go on and take other courses, you will always be able to relate that back, and it's a very important foundation to build. So do well in there.